Hi, class. I've written a little post-it here, pronoun-antecedent agreement. You did work in Revel about pronouns, and I want to make a point very clear that it's very subtle. So I'm going to take you back to the thrift shop if you don't mind. And as I was starting your next lesson about sentence combining, I realized that I was demonstrating in a good way something about pronoun-antecedent agreement. In this sentence, you can see that for the next lesson, I've changed it from I to Mr. Houston, that's my name. It looks like Houston, I say Houston, but on Saturdays, Mr. Houston likes to go thrift shopping because he is cheap. And the pronoun in this sentence is the he. And the antecedent, or the person that we mean by he, is Mr. Houston. So notice that as the person reads through, the reader has the name, proper name, Mr. Houston, in his mind, in his understanding. And then when it comes down to he, it can be swapped in. And if you want to be good at this writing, if you want to just be magically good, your pronouns will always be after the antecedent in the same sentence. Because doesn't a sentence have to be a complete thought? Well, if we had it switched around on Saturdays, he likes to go thrift shopping. If we had switched the he and the Mr. Houston, the reader wouldn't have known inside the sentence who Mr. Houston was unless the writer did a good job and made it clear some other way from a sentence before. But that's weak. I want you to set the goal, the very highest triple ninja level of writing is always having antecedents after I have pronouns after the antecedent in the same sentence. And here, if I switch the sentence around on Saturdays, because Mr. Houston is cheap, big comma here, but that we'll talk about comma later, he likes to go thrift shopping. Who's the he? Well, it's Mr. Houston. It came right before. There's no misunderstanding who he is. And the last one too. So no matter what order I put these two parts of the sentence, I always make sure I use Mr. Houston first and the pronoun he second. There you go. That's what we mean by pronoun-antecedent agreement. The pronoun is the he, she, it, they. The antecedent is the noun who the writer means inside the pronoun. And they have to agree. They have to agree for gender, sex. You wouldn't want to use she with Mr. Houston. Obviously, I'm a man. You wouldn't want to use they with Mr. Houston because he's only one person, so the they doesn't fit. You wouldn't want to use you for Mr. Houston because, well, that's just illogical. So there you have it, pronoun-antecedent agreement.